look at Job chapter 33 verse 14. The Bible says, for God speaks once and even twice, yet no one notices it, including you, Job. Interesting. That is to say that God is always speaking to us all the time, but sometimes we don't notice the very voice of God or the very thing that God is telling us. So right from the Old Testament to the New Testament, you realize that God has different ways of speaking to us. He is not only limited by one way. You remember in Moses' time, God spoke to Moses through a burning bush. When we also come to Jesus, we realize that God spoke through the clouds to confirm the sonship of Jesus. Then when we also come to Mary, we realize that God also spoke through his angel. Don't also forget that God speaks through his prophets. Isaiah was a prophet, Ezekiel was a prophet, Elisha was a prophet, Elijah was a prophet, Jeremiah was a prophet. God spoke through his prophets. In the case of Balaam, God also spoke through his donkey. So you have to understand that God is never silent. He talks to us all the time. But the problem is our inability to recognize the voice of God. Someone may say that, Apostle, what are you trying to say? Recognizing the voice of God is simply knowing and hearing God's voice. Your ability to know that this is God speaking. For example, it will not be difficult to identify that this is your mother speaking or this is your father speaking. Why? Because you are their child. So when it also comes to God, you should be able to know. When we say you are hearing it, it means that you don't just know, but you are also putting it into practice. That is to say, what you have come to hear, you are doing it. How do you know that you're a child of God? It's when you also can recognize God's voice. Yes. Now, John chapter 10 verse 27, from the Amplified version, the Bible said, the sheep that are my own hear my voice and listen to me. I know them and they follow me. So the Bible says that those that are mine, the people that are mine, the children that are mine, or the sheep that are mine, they hear my voice and listen to me. So at the end of the day, if you say that you're a child of God, then one of the proof is that God speaks to you. And you know what? When you are able to recognize the voice of God, it will help you to avoid mistakes. Sometimes if we know what we are to do, there would have been certain mistakes we would not have made. But because we just went ahead to do whatever that we did, we are suffering the consequences that come with it. So recognizing the voice of God is so much important if you want to live a wonderful life, if you want to live a great life. Recognizing the voice of God is the secret to a successful life. There is no way that you follow the voice of God and your life will not become successful. Until we recognize the voice of God, we may sometimes struggle with the very success that comes in life. The truth is that the more you listen to the voice of God, the more successful you become. Because the voice of God will not make your life miserable. The voice of God will not destroy your life. The voice of God will not cause you to regret the life that you are living. Someone may say that, well, I can be rich in my own way. But I'm also telling you that when you recognize the voice of God, you will be able to walk in riches. Because the Bible said that, for it is God that blesses, and he adds no sorrow to it. When we talk about success, we are not just talking about having money, or building a house, or buying a car. That's not just success. But success is when you are living a fulfilled life. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that, Lord, my business, what are you saying about it? Where should I go? How should I do it? What should be done? Lord, This interview that I'm going, what are you saying about it? Lord, this plan that I've made, should I go ahead with the plan or I should wait? Father, this thing that I'm doing, should I include this person or I should go off the way through? So all the time, we are guided with what we are doing.